SemiWoke.
We should be talking. Making it clap.
I can make it clap a little bit. I have a butt. My girlfriend insists I don't have a butt.
She's just jealous.
I think
she's just jealous.
I think she sees what I'm working. I used to have a girlfriend before that. She was addicted to my butt. Yeah. And I don't want to get too deep into that.
Yeah.
Like she did. Anyway, welcome to the SemiWoke podcasts. Sorry, that was we've been coming in hot and heavy. Coming in, I am trying to use my NPR voice here.
Yes.
Okay, for the sake of being a good ally.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't come in with my Mango Bay voice.
Oh God, no, please don't.
I sound like I'm the advertiser for Five Loco.
Yeah, or like whatever's making the frogs gay.
Yeah. Oh, that you saying I got
Alex
Alex Jones?
Yeah.
That's the kind of voice I aspire to.
What are you doing here?
It's like a Jesse Ventura, gravelly, like.
Opa, please no.
Okay, fine.
No.
Just have my normal little
Your
bitch
normal,
voice.
perfect voice.
Oh, I love you.
Isn't terrifying and weird.
We should get into my fantasies of like
What kind of
extreme mask fantasies that I have of myself, or delusions. I'm like gender dysphoric in the wrong direction, you know, where I think I'm more manly than I aspire to be.
I think we should have that episode.
Maybe we can talk about it.
We
can't forget this is the SemiWoke podcast.
Yes, welcome to the SemiWoke podcast. The first. No, you start that.
I can start it. This is the first queer collaboration since queer straight collaborations since
the first queer straight collaboration since Big Frida and Drake.
Okay,
that's right.
That's
nice
a curveball. I didn't even know about. Okay,
exactly, because Drake basically didn't credit her and put her in the video. Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
That's right. I'm coming for Drake already.
Okay,
that's right.
You know what? He'll be okay with it.
He doesn't care.
He'll absorb it somehow into his energy. That's what he does.
He's knee deep in underage girls with bad Jamaican accents. That's all he does.
There's a force field of underage girls surrounding him.
Yeah, come on.
That filters out anything.
And child support payments.
That's incredible. Dude, you said the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life about Drake last night when we were hanging out. Because we were talking about, I was like, damn, why is like Young Thug in court?
That's right.
Why are all these
That's right.
great dope rappers in court?
Yeah.
And what did you say?
I was like, they gotta fake it like Drake.
Yeah, it's like, why just fake it?
Stop
like
trying
Drake.
to live like the song say. You're gonna end up in
Drake
prison.
is doing Mr. Degrassi Junior High, class president of Degrassi Junior High, is doing just fine by faking.
That's right. He making gun sounds in his songs and everything. He pretending
to be Jamaican.
He pretend to be Jamaican. He pretend to be African. It's great. You know what I mean? He got these fake braids that you should do.
I should do. You've been trying to convince me to do many things. Be gay, get extensions, all that. My favorite thing my favorite video of Drake is I remember seeing him when he's like 15 and he's like living with his mom. He's just like, Mom, you didn't get the locks. You just got chicken what? He's complaining that she didn't get the right bagel filling in his sandwich. And I was like...
Have you seen that video going around recently from back in his Degrassi days at the N? The N used to have a show where they used to have all the like Canadian actors. So it's him doing a double date with fans. So it's Drake and Ali Mukaddam Ray from Radio Free Roscoe. Did you ever get into that?
But I'm here as a good ally listening to whatever
Radio
you're saying.
Free Roscoe. Everybody stand up for Ray. I think that was a lot of these girls' like first brown boy crush was Ray from Radio Free Roscoe.
Okay.
And it's Ray and Drake on a date with obviously two white women. Come on, let's be real. And let's be honest. And Drake is like, you know what's very ignorant? When black people use slang, you know, and they're like, man them. Yeah, they're like, man's them. It's like, and Ali Mukaddam's like, that's pretty cool. And Drake is like, I think it sounds very ignorant.
Wait, he's saying that seriously, or is
yes,
he doing it as like a bit?
Ass serious. He did not do bits. He was earnestly corny for so long. Wow. Yeah. No, it's gloves off with Drake ever since the Megan verse. He can eat a dick.
Okay.
He can eat
Wow. I mean, you're speaking about things that I have no idea about, but I'm just going to nod my head like a boomer and just be like, yeah, sure. Sure, dear.
Like you when you get into like Brahmin theory or whatever. And I just go,
You're talking about me when I'm in my ketamine mode.
When you're in your ketamine mode, yes.
I be going deep with the bleep bloop blurp.
Listening to bleep blorp like Mr. Krabs.
Shut up. All right. It's not bleep blurp. It's amazing music. But Welcome to the SemiWoke podcast, guys. This is a podcast where I, a geriatric millennial, Pranav Bihar, I'm a South Asian geriatric millennial, learns a little bit about woke culture every week from Sharia, a black queer younger millennial. Once a week, we unpack things in woke culture in an effort to make me a better person and possibly make me gay.
The goal is to make him, it used to be to make him gay. I think now the goal is like full, not even like gender transition. Like you have to transition into a completely different being.
Okay.
Like a different form of matter.
Listen, as a Hindu, I'm all about that.
Yes.
Okay.
But it has to be gay. You have to transform into like one butt plug. You have to like an ethereal butt plug.
Okay, but whose butt plug? Can we negotiate here?
Okay. Let's think. How about cornbread? Cornbread the snack.
What?
You don't watch Drag Race, do you?
No. Okay, listen. Yeah, okay. I know. This is frustrating for you at times.
There's so many things you don't
watch. But we're going to work through it together.
Sometimes I don't know how we have conversations. There's so many things you've never seen. Mommy Dearest.
I know Mommy Dearest.
But you've never seen it.
I've seen Mommy
You
Dearest.
have.
Listen, you know why I've seen Mommy Dearest? Okay, child of immigrants. I got beat. Okay? I got beat. And my mom saw, originally it's like, chanta, fit hands. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wooden spoon, convenient. She's cooking, right? Mm-hmm. Then my mom sees Mommy Dearest. Chappal, exactly, yes, yeah. Right? My mom sees Mommy Dearest. She's growing up here. She's here now as an immigrant. She sees Mommy Dearest. She sees Joan Crawford using coat hangers. Oh. Boom! My mom started using coat hangers. Oh. I was like, that's when my mom finally assimilated to being an American. It's like she's finally an American. It was a patriotic moment when she chased me with a coat hanger for the first time.
She watched Mommy Dearest and was like, that's a good idea.
She's like, that's it.
She whipped that girl into shape. Look at her cleaning that bathroom. All right. Okay. That's not what that movie was
In India, we only fold the clothes. We don't hang. I have this new technology. Dual purpose.
That's so funny. My mom made me watch Mommy Dearest because she was like, see, I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
I love that. I love that. Immigrant parents love pointing to something real fucked up. Being like, see, you could have had it worse. Stalin, you see that?
Yes.
I didn't institute a 5-year plan on you.
That's right. There's no gas chamber. It's just, I said, go to your room and don't leave until I say so.
I didn't rapid change this into an industrial economy.
Right.
5 years, huh? You're lucky. You're lucky, little bitch.
What's today's topic? Oh, today's topic?
Very relevant to us. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's first talk for a minute that we are like the... I think part of our charm is that we are an unlikely duo. Okay, as a South Asian male, elderly, cis het, queer, black. You're black, right? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm actually Chinese. You're being super racist right
now. Jamaican.
Yeah. Well, we have some overlap.
There is definitely some overlap.
Right?
The immigrant vibe is hundo overlap.
Right.
But
we both read.
We do.
At least an 8th grade level.
100%.
A lot of comedians do not do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about inter-black Indian racism.
And we're going to start really with, I think, the apex
moment
of Indian black relations, which is I know it smell crazy in there.
Yeah. We know it smell crazy in here. Is the name of this episode.
It does smell crazy in here.
It smells crazy in here. So can you give us the background on this meme? You're the one who had fully immersed me in this cultural moment.
Right, yes.
Which I've been fascinated by, and I'm a little late to the game, right? Because I'm not really on Twitter a lot. I try not to be.
Yeah, for your mental health,
for mental health purposes.
Hold on, let's see. So when did this start?
This is in 2021.
2021. It was the great Twitter race war of 2021.
Yeah, huge race war.
And it started with, I don't know if we can put things in things, but we'll see what Sam can do.
Yeah.
Let's see what Sam can do. But there's a video online of just like an Indian wedding or celebration.
They're dancing. I'm going to give the audio of it so people can at least hear.
And they're all dancing.
When that one song comes on in the club. Of course. And you see a bunch of Indian boys
Just dancing.
just have
Having a
Bhangra,
great
going
time.
Bhangra crazy to
And
the
there's a bunch of
classic
people.
jam, Punjabi MC,
Yes,
Mundi
yes.
Anka Bachke, okay,
Yes.
Beware of the Boys. Everybody knows it's a bop. It's an eternal bop at this
Yes,
point.
everybody loved that.
Everybody,
loved that song.
except for
Everybody
me,
go up.
because as a South Asian comedian, anytime there's a DJ, this motherfucker, it's always a showdown. Before I get on stage, I'm like, "Are you gonna fucking play Punjabi? Don't fucking play Punjabi MC, motherfucker!
He looks you right in the eye.
Don't do
right
it.
before he
It's always
presses
it's
play.
a standoff mode. It's like playing chicken with them. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. 9 out of 10 times, I lose. Like, and I gotta come up to fucking Mundi Anka Bachke, okay?
Fuck yeah! I love that you know the lyrics because I just be.
I don't know.
being
I didn't.
racist.
I just racistly spit the Punjabi lyrics. I'm not Punjabi.
But you know.
I know the song very well.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Anyway.
Yes.
This is a video they posted. This is great. Somebody posts on 9/24/2021. Hey, fun-loving moment. This is great. What happened? Indian post. Hey, this is great. Watching these Punjabi boys go nuts over this. And then what does Dr. Scully say 2 days later on Twitter?
I know it smell crazy in there.
I know it smell crazy in there. And then from there, an absolute utter shitstorm.
Like really,
ensues.
and it revealed something that I think a lot of people weren't really aware of about Black and South Asian relationships.
Right.
Like there is a huge tension there.
There's a lot of tension.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension there.
A great deal of tension.
I didn't realize how much tension because it was racist as shit.
Racist as hell.
And this is the thing about Black people and Indian people. We both spicy with it.
Oh God, yeah.
So we get spicy with the racism and spicy with the food.
Oh, God. And with everything.
With everything.
There's no holds barred.
Yeah.
The minute the door is open, there's no more door.
Yep.
Okay. The wall. They come in like the Kool-Aid Man, hard and hot and heavy.
Yes, and smart. Well written racism.
It's like the cuts go deep.
This really
you know what I
does,
mean?
yes.
The cuts go deep. They go poetic. The wit is just on fire.
Because both of our cultures have a lot of wit and a lot of like storytelling
100%.
and deep anger.
Deep anger, and we love oppressing our own people
That's
too.
right. And we love oppressing other people.
We love it.
We just want to be white people just for a little bit.
For a little bit,
We all
right?
just
We're
want-
always where the shit's always rolling downhill.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And look, as an Indian guy, children of immigrants, you inherit anti-black racism.
Yeah.
Right? Because no Asian immigrant come here being like, oh, I'm going there because I want to support black liberation.
No, yes,
right? Because we hate the police. They're like, no, we're going over here because we want to make some money.
Yeah.
And how do we do that? We mimic the ruling class, white people.
Yes.
Right? Now, I'm not saying this is my one-to-one experience with my parents. My parents, I can honestly say, never expressed any overt racism towards black people.
Really?
Never, ever. In fact, here, a quick anecdote, okay? I was on the bus. I'm like 5 years old. Timothy Slike, white as can be, rich white kid, is on the bus with me. And he's teaching me all the swear words in sign language. And he puts out his pinky finger and he goes, this is how you say, and then he says the N-word. I have no idea what the N-word is. I've never heard it before. I can tell it's spicy, right? And so I go home and out of nowhere, I did something. I was crawling around underneath the table. I had like a toy hammer. I'm crawling around. I see my dad's knee. I hit my dad's knee. And he goes, ow. And then I called him the N-word. Okay? I called him the N-word. I have no idea what this means. And my dad looks at me. My dad fucking walloped me. Wow. My dad never was the hand raiser. My dad never hit. Wow. My mom was the hitter.
Yeah.
Right? She handed down the discipline. My dad never. The only time my dad hit me was when I used the N-word.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I'm like weird now as an adult. I'm weirdly proud of my dad for that.
Even though child abuse is bad, don't hit your kids.
Don't
But
hit your kids.
Unless
But
they call
unless
you
they
a
call-
nigger.
listen.
That's when you hit your
Yeah. So like maybe there is a time.
Also, that's the funniest image
It was
of like
so
a cute
ridiculous.
little brown baby calling his Indian
I was
dad
a
the
cute
N-word.
kid too. I was cute as hell.
I know. I've seen pictures. You
Okay.
were so cute.
I was adorable, and I did that, and my dad hit me. I had no relationship to it. However, colorism is a thing among all South Asians,
Boom. Yeah.
Indians, everybody. It's just there.
Also, it's not just South Asians.
Of course, it's among everybody, but I'm going to
Black
speak.
people do colorism
Yeah,
better than
black people
anybody
be doing it hardcore. Okay.
Not to brag.
What I love about black people, though, is they've appended the colorist caste system among you to now where people are just openly ripping on light-skinned black people.
Yes, but even the light skin jokes are colorist against dark-skinned black people. We'll get into it.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of colorism, right? Like I can't safely say, my mom would be like, don't go out in the summertime. Don't go out too long. You're going to get dark.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And my mom is a very fair-skinned woman,
Yeah.
right? So it was a big fear for her, and it was a point of pride for her in some weird way. I can't. Where the colorism actually comes from is a very contentious issue. In terms of Indians, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, it has to do with caste," but that's not really necessarily the case because a lot of the top Brahmins very dark skinned.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult, and also you look in scripturally, there's things where they point to dark skin as a positive attribute too, things like that. So there's a lot of confusion to me around where that comes from. It does occur in every race of people, though. Right.
I mean, you obviously have more of an understanding of history in general than I do, but I would assume that it was greatly exaggerated by white colonialism.
I would have to assume that. I cannot say for certain that is the case, right?
Because white people make sure to erase those records.
It's 100%.
They were like,
burning receipts.
Oh, why are they like this? This is crazy. They're being crazy.
They're racist.
They're racist.
They're kind of racist over there. It smells crazy in there.
It smells crazy in there.
With the racism. So I think it's funny. The Indian immigrant experience coming over, and I think a lot of Asian immigrants, and not just Indian, you hear this about Koreans, Chinese people, et cetera, Vietnamese, they come in and they're all immediately like, well, who can we feel whole? Who can help us make us feel whole by shitting? Let's shit on black people. You know what I mean?
Across the world.
Globally,
black people are
it's a global phenom.
Yes.
Right? And so I think that does exist. And that is, I will say, I've definitely heard Indian uncles not using the black bastards mugged me or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Stuff happens. It gets racial, but every culture needs somebody they can look down upon so they can firm up and reinforce their own cultural identity. Yeah. And I think that is what I will say as a starting point of what my relationship is like in terms of South Asian versus black racism.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's basically the same thing, except for black people, I'm not generally black people who haven't done the work or are still in the process of doing the work are taught to align themselves with power.
Right.
And who are the most powerful, especially to black people who are victims of slave trade, we all were owned and oppressed by white folks. So a lot of black people,
as Indians were,
most
exactly
most people were, they out here doing crimes.
Yeah.
And so we try to align ourselves in every way with that. So it does express itself in colorism in the sense that we think it's better to have some proximity to whiteness visibly and in the way that we speak and the way that we move and the things that we do, because that is what powerful, smart, good people do, according to literally every piece of media that has entered our eyeballs since
100%.
Literature,
all the way.
Literature, media, everything. So we do that, but also a lot of the times, Black and South Asian people were put together in communities, and these are very different.
Well, you're Jamaican.
I'm Jamaican.
Okay. So I didn't even have to experience that really growing up, right? I had black friends in a very voluntary way, but I was never forced to necessarily integrate with black people. I grew up on what was called the White Shore where I grew up, right? There was a West Shore and an East Shore. And people are like, oh, you're on the White Shore, right?
White Shore?
Yeah. A very contentious thing,
That's where they put the slave ships.
That's
where they docked the slave ships.
They docked the slave ships. They came over from the East Shore in Central PA, where I grew up, right? And so I didn't necessarily have to, but black people and Indian people or South Asian people, if we want to use that term, all through the Caribbean. No. You can't. Absolutely. I'm just saying, Caribbean, right?
Yes. I mean, there's the.
You are
that's
Jamaican.
The slur, the C word.
Which?
Coolie.
Coolie.
Yeah.
Let's just say it, right? Because you mentioned distinction. Let's follow that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Coolie. I grew up with the word coolie just meaning,
me too.
that's just somebody actually at a railroad station who carries bags.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, the way I was taught in New York is like, that is like.
He's a jive coolie.
But also like somebody who's like South Asian and black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was how we.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's the person who just holds your bags.
And an Indian, this is where is a baggage handler.
Wow.
This was my personal and purely anecdotal familiarity with the term coolie.
Wow.
Coolie. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just how we were like, oh, he Guyanese. Like,
He's a coolie.
oh, he's like, you know what I mean? Because there's so much of like movement from India to Africa, India to Jamaica, India to, like, you know what I mean? There's so much of that. They're gonna fuck, you know what I mean? And then there's like a whole neighborhood.
So that's that's the racial intermixture then.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. There's whole neighborhoods where it's like Indian and black and they have babies and they do whatever. That's what like my mama and them used to call people who were like mixed race, black and South Asian.
How would she say it? Give me an example.
She'd be like, you could tell they coolie because of hair.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how I don't think, and I'm sorry, like I think that's a slur now. I think I heard somewhere that that's a slur
I've
now.
heard that it's a slur, but look, this podcast is all about, well, what is determining?
That's right. And of course, if you are like, holy shit, hearing you say that is like really hard for me, please correct me.
Right.
Please tell me.
You know,
I'm always here to be corrected.
It's an unskilled native laborer in India, China, and some other Asian countries.
What?
Yes.
It's a Chinese word too?
So, what does Jamaican coolie mean? Oxford Dictionary, derogatory term used to describe unskilled laborers. In some part of the Caribbean, coolie describes a person who has mixed ancestry, usually of African and Indian descent.
Yes, that's how I heard it.
I really, truly wonder. And it is in all cases, it's considered a bit of a derogation, right?
Wow, even if you're talking about somebody who mixed.
Maybe, yes. It seems to be, right?
You know what's funny? You would say that, especially about girls, and it'd be like, ooh, she mixed. She part Indian. Like that was like a good thing because she got good hair.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She got that good Indian hair. You know what I mean? This is late 90s, like deep-seated anti-blackness that black people perpetuate. But like, that's how I thought it was like a good thing. So that's very interesting. I did not realize that it meant like unskilled laborer.
This is the origin of it, yes.
Yeah.
And that now me unwittingly have been thinking, oh, this is just a term that people use for a baggage handler only, right? But no, it's just for any unskilled laborer.
Wow.
Right?
This is why this podcast is important.
It is. We're learning some stuff.
We are really,
you know?
yes.
And look, I mean, we're kind of going through it now. We're learning, and I wonder how that word to you as a Jamaican, as a black Jamaican person, what that means to look at somebody and be like, they're a coolie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for me, it was like, this is also an older word. This is a word that like my mama would use, my aunties would use, you know what I mean? And like you would repeat or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Let me scooch up.
What do you do? You're ruining it.
I'm sorry. My jive coolie bullshit over here. Sorry.
You've heard that. I haven't really heard. I've heard that, but I don't really remember.
jive coolie
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I think that's some shit from like the 70s and
That's some
80s.
70s shit,
Yeah, and like that's how.
Coolie high.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because like those used to be like the mad, like kind of hood South Asians
Right.
with a little bit of black in them,
Right.
Who were like kind of prized.
Right.
for
Well, look,
their-
if we're talking about the combination of these two peoples, right, and they're having to intermingle, and you look at Indians who are then living alongside black people in a place like Jamaica or in the Caribbean, and maybe the Indians are referring to themselves as coolies, right,
Yeah.
in their own stratification
Yes.
there, and maybe then black people are like, oh, they're coolies.
Yes. Okay,
Maybe. I'm
maybe.
speculating right now.
Yeah.
You know?
There's got to be a book about the history.
We're
of the
not a
word or
research-based podcast.
Listen,
Okay? We're
alright.
comedians.
I
all
have
right?
a full-time
Before
job.
somebody pushes up the glasses on their nose and says,
No.
excuse me, actually, fuck off.
Yeah,
All right?
I'm sorry. We talked about this, and I was like, I'm not researching a goddamn
Yeah,
thing.
fuck that.
Okay.
Okay? What fun is that?
That's right. I'm speaking from a place of ignorance always.
Just because we talk with an NPR voice doesn't mean we're bringing NPR content
yes,
to
exactly.
you little bitches out there.
Exactly. That's
all
right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
semi-woke, not woke.
Thank you.
Not fully woke.
All right, I don't have time for all of
Yeah,
that. Like, I will do some Googles, but let's just keep it real.
Do some Googles.
I'll do some
We know
Googles.
we're not a research, but we say we do some Googles.
That's it. Some cursory Googles. And if the first thing that comes up is not relevant, I'm going to just use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I got a full-time job and multiple mental illnesses to like
to juggle.
to juggle. I just got too much to do. So yes, but yes. And so like then there are those neighborhoods where yes, there's like intermingling, but there's also tension.
Of course. Of course. Now, I've never heard of actually, up until recently in South Africa, a black Indian race riot breakout. I've never heard of that.
Race riot breakout. Yeah. Not like the Korean black, like not like the LA riots.
Not like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's interesting. I do see, in terms of a general category of brown people, I do see that there are inroads into the black community via businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Right. And we're talking about things like the bodegas.
That's right.
Right. Liquor stores,
That's right.
stuff like that.
Yes.
Right. You get very entrepreneurial Gujaratis, stuff like that.
Yes.
A comedian friend of Nimesh Patel. His dad grew up. His stepdad grew up. I've talked to him about this. He has a black scent, right?
Yeah.
And he has a quote black scent because he grew up in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And he grew up in black neighborhoods. His stepdad ran a liquor store in a black neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And he was in the community. He talked to people. He was friendly with them, right? Not all South Asians are going to be like that, but you see these kinds of interactions.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a very interesting thing for me because I grew up, my older brother, Ashish, bless him, 6 years older. We got really into hip hop. I was in like 4th, 5th grade. My brother's 6 years older than me. How do you identify as a person, right? Culturally, what do you latch yourself onto? We went through a black phase as kids together.
Yeah, me too.
He was really into LL Cool J, Cool Mo D. This is 1980 shit.
Yeah, I forget how old you are.
Cool Mo D. How you like me now? You know, I'm young. I don't know anything about this, but my brother's older, and I'm like, okay, we're black now. My brother's getting a fade. You know what I'm saying? He's loving blackness. You know, he's sitting there, he's doing this flex. I don't even know what you call this. Hugging himself.
Table?
What's that? Yeah, we're sitting there, he's getting turtlenecks. You know, he's really into Kid and Play. Black culture's everything, and he's trying to dance, and he's got a turtleneck on. He wants a gold chain.
Said trying to.
Yeah, well, you know, this is what we're identifying as. Meanwhile, our parents invariably want us to grow up white, right? Because we're trying to secure the bag.
That's right, yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, we're black. We love rap music. Our attitude is black.
That's right.
I remember him specifically saying, turtleneck is black, haircut is black, attitude is black. My brother was really flexing. I remember seeing him doing this. I'm like, this is the coolest motherfucker on planet Earth. I need to be him. I am black now.
Yes.
We're listening to NWA. I was the first motherfucker in my school to listen to NWA. I'm young. I'm in 3rd grade. I've got a Walkman, you know, and I'm listening to NWA straight out of Compton. I'm listening to all my friends. They're like, he just said motherfucker. He just said, because all my other Indian friends they were white.
What were they listening to?
Nothing. They were listening to
Burt Bacharach.
You know, they're like the New Kids on the Block or some, you know.
Fuck yeah.
No, not fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, New Kids on the Block. Whatever.
That's straight shit. See that? You straight as a slur. Hello, who's woke now? Me.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. You straight as a slur.
Straight
That's
as
what
a
it
slur.
is. It's about oppressing our oppressors.
Exactly. We're not getting away from hierarchies. We're just reversing them. Yeah, we're flipping the hierarchy.
Flipping it up. Yeah.
Wow. But I remember being very proud and being like, hey, we're black. Actually, we love blackness. Black is everything. Everything to us. We were Wayans Brothers fans. Huge Wayans Brothers fans.
Yeah.
All Wayans Brothers media. We gobbled that shit up. You know, we did. We ate it up like a bowl of chitlins. All right. Black media, everything. Eddie Murphy, all black media, all the time.
Yeah.
We grew up.
But that's not just you. Black media.
Of course,
is American culture.
It
America does not have a culture outside of what black people invent.
It does not.
Like, it really just doesn't.
Truly.
They just take what we invent and then put a white face on it, and then it goes through some mutations.
100%.
So I think that's true of, like, who goes to, if you see a rap concert, it looks like a KKK rally.
Right.
The rap concert is full of fucking white people.
Yep.
So, like,
it's true. It's like a Klan rally.
It really does.
Is the Klan here? No, it's Wu-Tang, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the Klan that's here.
Okay, I'm losing my mind now.
Really, like, yeah, like that is so black culture does really, but I think also, like, you ever see them videos like on TikTok of like they're doing like an Indian wedding in Jersey or some shit, and they're like doing like almost like a parade,
yeah,
and there's always some black people that show up and just
they want to get in it
because it's a vibe.
Exactly, and this is the essential. And I know this is being very essentialist about it. This is the essential greatness of black people in America and black culture is that if they sense a vibe, they fucking go with it.
That's right.
K-pop, who blew up K-pop in this country?
Black people. Because you know what K-pop is? It's basically like
I know. It's
R&B.
A full weird regurgitation
Yes, but
through the white regurgitation first, and then they
Yeah, but then listen. Koreans do their research,
Mm-hmm.
and they literally sample like 80s R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
Like Shiny has songs that are like literally
It's true.
Korean remakes of like old school R&B groups like H-Town and shit.
It's true. It's
Like,
true. I always
really.
say Koreans were like the most confusing of all the Asians in terms of how they present. Because East Asians will always have like a white name, then they'll have their. I have a joke where I'll be like Koreans and be like, yeah, I'm a Philip in the streets, but I'm a Taeyong in the sheets,
Yes.
And then to confuse things further, they'll be really into breakdancing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They'll be dancing their fucking asses off.
Yes, they take classes. They take hip hop dancing
They do.
classes. I went to Korea and watched 12-year-olds Harlem shake me out the motherfucking room, like, cause they had studied the shit.
Incredible.
Like, it's crazy. Never been to New York in their life. Oh yeah. So like, yeah, that's like Black culture, but also I will say Indian music, Indian culture. I think because Black people have lost so much of their culture from being stolen.
Totally deracinated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's just call it for what it is.
Yes.
It's an absolute wholesale deracination,
That's right.
and it's genocidal, right? That is
it's-
something very constitutes genocide,
Yes,
right?
it is cultural genocide
Hundo.
by the book. But because of that, we look, or maybe we don't seek it out, but we relate to things and that I think deep down remind us of the culture that we've lost.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of Indian culture.
They detect a vibe.
Yes. And
And
that's
they're
the
like,
vibe.
yes, and that's
The
the
vibe
vibe.
is the culture, the home, the food, the music.
Yep.
We had some of that. And it was probably extremely similar.
Yes.
And we lost it and we connect to it.
Yes.
But I think there's also a jealousy there.
There is a sort of jealousy because you see people whose culture is sort of whole and
That's right.
intact.
Yeah.
Right?
Sort of.
But like, you know what? It's like, it's Black people being able to go and dance to Bhangra music on TikTok or whatever that are kind of normalizing it and bringing it out into the culture for everyone to accept and adore and
Yes.
enjoy it.
Yes.
Or Bollywood, things like that.
Yes.
Because Black people are the people who are the arbiters of culture in America.
Yes, yes.
And are the ones who can normalize things like that. And Indians, South Asians owe a huge debt, I think, to Black American people and to the
agree.
Black American community
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go two ways. And this is a gripe that I'm going to express about Indians.
You don't think it goes
South
two
Asians,
ways? Okay.
In the sense that, like, no, Indians, all South Asians,
Mm-hmm.
right? Caste is a South Asian phenomenon,
Mm-hmm.
right? And people want to say it's a Hindu thing. Everybody fucks with caste in South Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is a tendency to want to be hierarchical. And this is maybe a human thing. in
I was
general.
just about to say.
I don't want to ascribe it purely to South Asians and
Yeah.
caste. So that's
We
actually
live in
my
a
bad.
hegemony. Yeah.
We live in a hegemonic world
Yes.
in reality where hierarchy does exist.
Yes.
And thus we're less willing to be like, oh yeah, we're into Black culture and we're going to absorb that into what we do now, right?
Yeah.
It has to come first through white acceptance and normalization.
For sure.
Before Indians will then adopt it, play the music at their weddings, transmute it into hybridized musical forms in India, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
This is me. I'm speaking anecdotally.
Yeah.
Off the rip. I'm not a fucking sociologist.
Yeah.
This is my observation, and it is a grievance that I have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
How are we doing on time, Sam? Okay.
3:33.
33.
3:33. Okay, good. We're doing good on
Okay.
time.
Let's get a little spicy with it. Have
Let's
you ever
get-
seen any like interactions that were between Black people and
Rancorous?
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
yeah. I
said-
mean, what is our inciting episode for today's episode?
No, I mean like
right?
in real life though, like in your life or whatever, like
Oh.
in college or whatever.
I mean, look, yes,
Yeah.
you do. You will. I've seen Black people. All races of non-Indian people who try to pronounce my name will fuck it up in some way, even though it's only 6 letters. My favorite interaction is as a Black comedian once was trying to use my name as like just off the cuff as an example of like an Indian being shitty. And he was like, yeah, instead of some motherfucker, named Pranay, but he couldn't pronounce my name. So he just said, he started, and then he was like, nah, I'm not going to finish pronouncing his motherfucker's name. He's like, Pranay.
Yeah.
Then he was done with it.
Yeah.
That was one. In general, what I do find interesting is that I do find there is a racism from American Black people towards Indian people.
yes.
And towards other races of people,
Yes.
which is a sort of American nativism Right? It's like, fuck these fucking... And you saw this during COVID with other Asians. They found their opportunity to be racist and place themselves in the hierarchy.
Yes.
And they found it. They're like, fuck these Indian motherfuckers. Go back to your fucking country.
Yes.
Curry munching idiot.
It's like, you go back to
You know, I know. It's like, I wish I could go back to my country.
That's what it is. Go back to your country because I can't go back to mine.
It's an amazing
Yes,
observation.
it really is.
It's startling.
And black people fight me on this. I don't give a fuck. Like, I really think a lot of that, like, you know, my grandma was very racist to, like, everybody. My God. Like, listen, like Alice Jones, all of them, they ain't got shit on my grandma. My grandma, everybody talking about, well, Kanye saying a lot of stuff about the Jews. That was just dinner. That was just dinner with my grandmother. Like, you know, like we as black people, because we are so displaced, that because our unifying identity at this point is displacement. I think that's a point of contention for a lot of black folk. And I think because of that, the only way we know how to feel powerful is by doing to others what white people do to us.
Of course.
And it's so dumb. It's like trying to...
It's dumb, but it makes sense, right?
You know
it does make sense, right? There is, and I'm not saying it makes good sense.
No, but
right? I'm not saying it's a moral thing.
Yes.
But it's like you can't fault them for it, right? Yes. And here's one thing that I think is a negative fetishization of black people in America that assumes that they could never be racist, right? In a weird way, it's a very toxic way of disempowering and disenfranchising them further.
Yes.
Right? To assume like they could never be racist because they're black. What's that mean? Because we have zero power or they have zero power?
Yeah. Which isn't true.
Black people have to interact with other races, and as a race and as a group, they're going to have fucked up things to say about every other race of people.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And wherever it is on the hierarchy, they're going to have fucked up things to say about Chinese people, Korean people, Vietnamese people,
right.
Everybody out there.
And other black people. Nobody hates black people like black people.
Nobody hates Indian people like Indian people.
Yes.
It's everybody is fucking racist and gnarly as shit.
And what we really need to do is band together and fight the white man. And this is when we lock the door, Sam.
Look, Sam's Jewish.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Did you not see his eyebrows? Look at his eyebrows. Sam is as Jewish as they get. Okay, he's almost black. That's how Semitic he is. Sam looks like an extra from Uncut Gems, okay? He's a Diamond District. He is so Sephardic looking. Okay.
Now you're turning it to my grandma.
I am, all right?
You're going to make landlord jokes now.
I'm sorry. Listen, that's the other thing. It's like it's a free-for-all of racism.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That's maybe, should we end it there?
I think we should end it there and get into...
Should we get into Reply Guy Theater?
Yeah, Reply
Very
Guy Theater.
pertinent. We're going to dive right into our source material here.
That's right.
You know it smell crazy in there. Let's get it going. Sure, you sent me the let me just...
I sure did.
You sure did. Who are our cast of characters here?
The Voice 30.
Let's contextualize it. Time, place, Twitter, September 24th, 2021.
You all remember this day.
Okay.
A day that
starts with a handle called @TheVoice30, posting a video of some Punjabis, okay, in India.
Just
Punjabi
going off.
MC Mundi Uncle Bachke starts playing, okay. TikTok, dinger, 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 boom. This guy, innocent post, this is great.
Laugh emoji.
Yeah, laugh emoji, 3 laugh emojis.
Good times.
Okay. You're going to play the role of the Indians, Sharia.
Yes.
I'm going to play the role of everybody else. Sharia, you must do this in an Indian accent. You have to do it. Sharia,
Not gonna do it.
Please, for me.
The end of this podcast is that you become a transgender butt plug and I become a racist.
And then you become a racist. I want you to do it.
Okay,
As an Indian, I'm giving you the pass.
It's not even like I'm afraid of racism. It's that I'm afraid of how bad I am at accents.
I know. That's part of why I want you to do it. You have to do it.
I will make it a attempt.
Okay. I'm going to start quote tweeting. I'm Dr. Scully. I'm a black man. At Leela Evert.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lil Avivert.
Yeah, Lil Avivert. Yeah.
Okay. I know it smell crazy in there. Boom.
And then, okay, so
Quote tweets.
we're going to do the word, the yo, you should say the yo.
Yo. They going mad in the quote tweets.
And here is Mellow Brick Road Just an adorable little baby. I think we could put her picture up. But basically
Bongo.
it's this.
A cute name too. Bongo.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's just like,
Bongo.
she's so cute.
She's adorable.
Here's her response.
Accent.
How dare you speak, you jungle monkey, you swarthy, smelly, night-skinned nigger.
Okay, I
Hard
gotta
R.
stop you right there.
That's an Indian accent.
When you swarthy, W's have to turn into V's.
Svarthy. Like
Svarthy.
German.
Svarthy.
Svarthy.
Okay,
Varthy.
start it over now. Go
How
ahead.
dare you speak, you jungle monkey, you swarthy, smelly, night-skinned nigger.
Caps.
Caps, all caps. How dare you open your fat, rim-encrusted, menthol-smoking mouth to speak of the affairs of a beacon of civilization, the Republic of India?
3 question marks.
You are monkey. Indian army will kill you apes by the bushel.
By the bushel. Follow response to that, Rudy Giuliani at Lil Dodecker.
Jesus.
She totally lost her customer service voice.
Just fucking beautiful, like a tennis match of racism. I love it. I love it. We're good at that. One
Another
day-
response then I have to follow up with by Talik Monroe at Laturnt on 3 months later, 12/24/22. Not by the bushel. Multiple laugh sweating emojis.
Aw. You know what? I love you by the bushel.
I love you by the
You
bushel.
swarthy, night-skinned, beautiful man.
We're both swarthy night skins. Which is a sexy thing to say, night skin.
agree.
It's beautiful.
I agree.
Her rage there was so poetic.
Mwah.
It was insane.
It was-
and if you look her up, look up Pongo on Twitter. I don't know if you can still see her at Mellow. That's a 0 brick. Instead of an I, it's a 1 road. Mellow Brick Road. She looks adorable. Okay, she is the most adorable looking girl. Just pouty, duck facing. And what the prose itself is magnificent.
Like really, it's like Bukowski wrote it.
It's incredible. It's like
beautiful.
Nabokov wrote it. You know what I mean? It's good.
She's
It's
the
just
Nabokov of anti-black racism.
Of anti-black racism. It's just, it's
Shouts
the
to her.
vitriol is really shouts
From
to
one
her.
swarthy night-skinned nigger to another.
I mean, like everybody is performing at peak in this thread.
Yes,
There's
go
thousands
check
of
out the
comments
thread.
in it.
Go check out the thread.
Everybody is performing at 100.
Yes.
Hats off to them and their racism.
That's right.
Hats off to you. I love you by the bushel
I
as
love
well.
you so much, Opa.
Night skins forever.
Swarthy night-skins forever.
This has been the SemiWoke podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for
Don't be
tuning in.
racist unless you're doing it at this level.
That's right. No.
Okay, don't half-ass it.
Don't half-ass it. Full
All right,
war.
Yeah. And let's not get institutional, or you know what I mean? Systemic. Keep it at this level.
Yes.
If you have to be racist.
That's right. Be
Okay?
racist to people on Twitter is the ultimate message of this
Exactly.
podcast.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Sam, for being a perfect angel.
Yes,
you're lucky
indeed.
you're Jewish, or else we would beat you up right now.
We would lock the doors. Listen, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Stay semi-woke.
Semi woke. Bye.
Bye.